Okay, I'm going to try to pre-draft some fiber. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I know the glare in here is really bad. This is fiber. It is merino. It's already pre-dyed. When you get it, it comes in a rope, usually about that big around. Well, maybe not quite that big. I break it down into like eighths just by splitting it right down the middle, just like this. It splits real easily. The finer you split it, the finer your yarn will be. And the bad part about splitting it really fine is that you have to be more careful when you're pre-drafting. Now, a lot of really great spinners can draft while they spin. I can't. The length of the fibers is called your staple. And if you, I don't know if you can see it, if you tug real gently, my fingers are just barely holding on here. See how much thinner it's getting and how the light gets through? The finer you can draft it, the finer your yarn's going to be. And you hear my husband arguing with my cat. See how it's just getting thinner and thinner? Now my hands are spaced apart the length of the staple. If you pull too hard and you split it, it doesn't matter. You can kind of splice it back together again. That's not a problem. It's really just gently stretching those fibers, making sure they're all straight and even. Now I'm feeding it down into a basket at my feet that you can't see, but trust me, it's there. And now I've gotten to the end of this length of roving, but see how thin that is? I mean, okay. Now let me stop and rearrange things. Okay, I'm back. Now this is the end of the piece of roving that you just saw me draft, and this is another piece of roving, and it's the other half that I split. You just kind of lay your fibers about a staples width apart. About a staples width apart. You lay one on top of the other and just kind of smush them together. That's what I do. And see where they're joined right here, where the cat hair is? You'll take it and just start drafting again, and those fibers, those two lengths of roving, will sort of marry in together. See how it's become one? And you just keep drafting. Now I like to draft, whoops, it broke apart. Hang on, let me show you. I didn't get it spliced in real well together. Let me kind of smush them back together, compress them back down. Reach down in my basket and get the piece that fell off. Okay, we'll try that again. See, it happens, and if it does, it's no big deal. You just kind of pick up and go back together. I'm getting cat hair in this. Oh well, she's a pretty cat. It'll be pretty in the yarn, right? This will become a merino Persian blend here. Okay, there we go. Now, see, I'm having problems getting it to stick to itself. I may have drafted it too fine. So what I do is I go back and I put them back together again. See? And I just draft out some more. Now if I do that, I have to kind of tug at it a little harder. Not much. And where those fibers folded over, I can just bring them all together again. Come on, straighten out. This is going to be so ugly, and I wanted it to be good for the video. Okay? And you just keep drafting. Like I said, I like to draft out enough for whatever spinning session I'm going to do, mostly because, well, there's 2 toddlers and a cat that live in my house that like to help me, and I find that if I leave drafted fiber out where they can get to it, it's irresistible. Be very, very careful with cats. I know everybody thinks it's so cute to see a cat play with fiber and chase yarn, but if your cat's like mine, they like to play with it, they like to bite it, and they can actually choke to death on it. And even if they don't choke to death on it, you get a fur ball from hell. And their bodies just aren't made to process that kind of a fur ball, so it can cause health problems for them, so be real careful with that. And that's your public service announcement here. So I'm going to draft out the rest of this fiber, just like I've been doing. Splice in the next piece when I get there. And if you can keep your drafting even, that will help to prevent the slubs that are in some yarns. Now, if you like the slubby yarn, and even if you don't, but you're just learning and you make slubby yarn by accident, that's okay. Because think of how much you pay for the expensive slubby yarns in yarn stores. And see, you made it by yourself on accident, didn't even mean to. And a lot of expert weavers, or spinners rather, once they've mastered drafting, especially drafting while they're spinning, they can't make a slubby yarn anymore. It's like their fingers just will not do that. So consider yourself gifted if you can. So let me finish drafting out all the rest of this fiber. You don't need to watch me do that. And I will be back when we're ready to spin.